Yo, what's up guys? Today I'm bringing you guys a guide again on Viper, and this time on the map Haven, working on her smoke orb or poison orb spots. And today we're going to start off by going on A site, and afterwards we're going to work to C site. B site's a little bit different because it's more on it's more inside. You can't really get good smoke orb spots there or poison orb spots there. But today we're going to start off with A site, and we're going to first start off hopping onto here, and these two sites are basically going to be blocking off A Heaven and the peaking spot here on the lower part of A site. Both of these just to cut off angles that people have, like line of sights that they have on you. Pretty much just to allow you to push onto the point, or allow your team to push onto the site, and actually capture that site and get the bomb down. Okay, so first we're gonna start off. You want to come to this spot on the map, right around here, this back corner here, on top of this brick stack right here, and you're gonna line yourself up with this little chip right here on the side of this brick. Put your crosshair as far down as you possibly can, and just line yourself up with this brick. And then now this first one is gonna be smoking off Heaven. It works 9 times out of 10. Again, if you don't time your jumps properly and you don't time your movement properly, it could change it up a little bit, but most of the time it's going to be hitting the spot 100%. And obviously, if you practice it, it can work 100% of the time. So what you're going to do is line yourself up with this little chip in the brick, move your crosshair up to this little circle dot here, and then go straight up to the top of this rope. And all you're going to do is walk forward and throw at the same time. So you're going to walk, throw, and 9 times out of 10, this is going to land right inside of Heaven. Like, it's a perfect smoke. Again, because it's going to be not only crossing off that line of sight that you have to worry about and worry about someone being up there, but if someone is actually up here, it's going to be tanking them for damage, as it's going to be able to push them back into that spot there, and it's still going to be hitting them. They have to fully leave Heaven, because it's gonna force them to literally take a bunch of damage here. You can't hide in this at all. So you're gonna have to leave this complete site here, and it's gonna cut off this entire angle, allowing your team to push on and not worry about this whole angle here. Alright, now moving on to the second spot on A site. This one is actually going to be focusing on smoking the lower half here, so allowing your team to actually push through a short or push on a long and actually capture the site without having to worry about someone coming from their spawn. What you want to do is line up yourself up in the exact same spot as last time as you did for A Heaven, and you're going to line yourself up with this little opening here in the actual lines here. You can line yourself up right in that opening, right in the center, and all you want to do is just jump and toss. All you want to do, just jump and toss. And what it's going to do, it's going to bank off the back of it and drop right down, and it's actually going to perfectly block off this whole line of sight. But one thing to notice about this one is that they're actually still allowed to push through the back of this over here. Again, it's kind of depending on how much you jump and how much you don't jump and your timing on your jumps, but if you time it even better, you could get it to land farther back and actually block off this back side here. If you can test your jump or time your jump a little bit better, if you can time your jump a little bit better, you can actually make it land farther back and get maybe back around there, and it actually pushes them back out of this back site here and completely clears out this whole angle here, forcing them to push back into their spawn, or go maybe up to Heaven or something else. And now we're gonna go head over to C site. Alright, now we're working on to C site. Obviously, there's a barrier right here when you spawn, so you can't really cross into this area right off the rip. And someone most likely is going to be holding your cross here, but somehow you have to work your way with Viper over to this left side. That's where you actually can work and get all of the line of sights here. For the first spot, we're actually going to work on smoking off Garage or C short, allowing your team to actually push onto the site and not worry about the whole right side. Anyone covering that whole right side of the Garage or coming there and holding that line of sight. Now what you want to do is you're going to come into this far corner here, and just look directly up, and then find this little dent in the roof here. Pull your smoke out, and then now what you want to do is lower your cross a little bit so it's allowing your smoke to actually go through. If you throw it right here, it's going to hit this little roof part, and it's going to drop down and get stuck somewhere, or just drop right down below you. What you want to do is just lower your crosshair a little bit, probably around to there. Just throw it right away, and it's actually going to perfectly cross off this whole line of sight here. It's going to land right there, allowing you to smoke that off. It pushes them back. They could still be holding this hard right on the double boxes, maybe if they have a jet, or maybe on top, or an omen on top of this. It's going to get the job done, covering off this line of sight here, completely blocking this off and pushing them back even more, allowing your team to push onto the site. Now, the second spot is actually going to be focusing on blocking off their spawn or C link onto C site. If you have maybe your teammates pushing on a site and you want to stay back and get a good smoke off, this is how you're going to do it to actually block off that line of sight in the back of their spawn. What you want to do is you're going to come to the same third pillar here. So out of the 3, 1, 2, 3, or out of the 3, not counting the ones on the ends, but just 1, 2, 3, or the one pointing right at the dragon, the middle one. You want to jump on top of here. You want to line your sight up with the far right side, right corner of this top beam, right there. And all you want to do is just jump and toss. And this one can vary depending on how much you jump. This one I think is a really good one. Yeah, I did a really good job with this smoke. If you practice this a lot, you'll get it down to the exact point where you have to toss it and how much jump you actually have to put in before you actually throw it. But this actually perfectly blocks off this entire backside here. It pushes them out of this corner here, pushes them out of this corner here, and pushes them back into their spawn a little bit. Now again, someone could go up there and get actually a really good angle. If they have a jet or an omen, they could TP up there or just fly up there. And they could be looking down over your line of sight. And if you come over here, you can actually see that line of sight right here. They could have a really good angle there on you. But again, it's mainly just to block this line of sight, allowing your team to push onto the site and actually take control of C site. Alright, now this last one is going to be focusing on actually allowing your cross to be smoked. The C cross right here. Most of the time people are holding this back sight angle behind this this little box here, or on top of here even. This one you can't really smoke off. It's really difficult to get that smoke there, but you can kind of get this angle and get the smoke right in the middle, so it actually blocks off this whole line of sight. If anyone's, you know, sitting back here or trying to peek you, it actually blocks off that whole line of sight. So what you want to do is you want to come to the same third pillar, line yourself up with this yellow flower, same exact thing. And now what you want to do is you're going to look right on this little the brown beam here on the roof. You're going to line yourself up right with this line here, and then also line yourself up with the top here, this little corner spot right here. And you're going to line yourself up right in that center spot where those two intersect. Pull it out, and then just throw it. You don't have to jump or anything. It's going to perfectly land right there in the middle, smoking off both sides. So if someone is actually holding this angle here, you know, sometimes people like to hold here, this backside with an op, or even back here with an op, you know, holding this back angle. If you get this smoke to land properly, it cuts off this line of sight completely, forcing them to, you know, either come up here on the right side and get on top of these boxes here, or get on top on here and hold this head glitch angle, or even push up to the left side here and hold this farther angle here. Again, these are very good smoke spots for C site. Unfortunately, you can't really get smokes for B site again because it's mainly indoors. You know, get a good smoke off of on here. You kind of just have to peek in, or even go from A short or B short and come from the mid here and kind of just bank one off the side here, you know, and get something to smoke off that back site, or this main entrance here to, you know, allow your team to push up here, you know, and you can honestly push through here, grab it, and then peek the angles here like this, and, you know, breach this site. Alright, that's going to be the end of this video here. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, like and subscribe. I also have another YouTube video. The last one I posted is actually the bind, the same exact thing, but on bind. Just Viper spots, good smoke spots to actually cut off angles and lines of sights like that. So if you haven't seen that video, make sure you go check that video out. I also stream on Twitch at Riley Khan, and make sure to drop a follow there. And that's going to be the end of this video. Thank you guys. Hope you enjoyed.